Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard. Kai Havertz in the Champions League final. Ivanovic! Yes. In the middle, it's just behind him. But it's tapped in by Higgins here. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off. Hat-trick hero. Cole Palmer wins an epic, sensational game.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode,
we're going to milk the 2024-25 season even drier this time with our end-of-season player rankings. Oh, welcome back everyone to another episode of At the Bridge Pod, and I am joined in the virtual room filled with all of the Lions. Ollie, Berth facing disciplinary action, and Chris. I want to know what your moments of the weekend were.
Wow, I played cricket the weekend.
Oh, no one cares, but
okay, just skip to Ollie then. Just skip to Ollie. Go on, Ollie.
Yeah.
What did you do? Let me guess. Let me have a guess what you did.
We do not care.
what did I do, Berth? Go on. I bet you.
You
Yeah,
did
do you know
fuck all,
what?
mate.
You are absolutely spot on.
Yeah,
and
there
do you know
we
what? I don't try and make other people care about it.
Well,
Chris.
you can care about cricket, mate.
Chris, save us. Come on.
I had my football presentation.
Yes.
We only had one real downpour of rain as well, which I think is quite successful.
That is a win.
Yeah, that went off well. And then Sunday had first trials for the Sunday team. That was really good. Like the standard of the girls was really good. So that's really pleasing and quite exciting now.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
I have two. First, I never thought a 0-0 friendly between Kenya and Chad was still a moment of the weekend, but here we are. That was thanks to some elite level live score app failure, chaos. I don't know, but the game was apparently blessed with 2,251 minutes of added time. That's nearly 2 full days of there's always one last big chance. And it still ended 0-0. Honestly, it might be
Still 0-0. That's
it might
amazing.
be the most literal interpretation of the they could play all night and not score cliche that you'll ever see. It might still be going on. The last time I saw it, it said 2,251 minutes of added time. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I don't know whether someone's meant to be on site, on pitch, on side of the field, and meant to say and submit the score, or they just simply forgot and it just rolled over. It's gold.
Wow.
Oh, the other football one, Harry Kane dropping his ultimate England 11, and it is a disgrace. Arteta was right. It's a disgrace. One of the worst 11s I've ever seen. It's like he went full social media influencer with rage bait, trying to get some engagement for the algorithm. So I've got the
Did he
11.
put himself in it?
He didn't, which if he could have, that would have might have justified it, because is he England's top scorer? I think
He is.
isn't he?
He is, yeah.
Well, I'll read the 11. So from goalkeeper up to the top, he's got Pickford, Ashley Cole.
Oh,
That's
piss
ridiculous straight away.
Piss off.
Well, gets better. Gets better.
Actually, no, I disagree with that. I actually don't think Pickford is that far away from the conversation.
We do not care.
Ashley Cole, John Terry, Harry Maguire, Kyle Walker, Raheem Sterling, Lampard, Gerrard, Beckham, Owen, Rooney. Now, for me,
Jesus, Maguire in there is an absolute
Maguire.
disgrace.
Raheem Sterling.
Pickford, Maguire, Walker and Sterling shouldn't be near the 11, because I'll ask this question. Where's Gordon Banks, Gary Neville, Bobby Moore, Rio Ferdinand, Billy Wright, Gaza, Bobby Charlton and Jimmy Greaves? That's recency bias. Honestly, the recency bias there is not just showing for me, it's doing a full catwalk strut down Oxford Street.
What
Pickford,
What I'll say to that is, though,
Maguire,
have you ever seen Gordon Banks play football other than that save?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
But what a save, Gordon Banks.
Because I couldn't put Gordon Banks in my starting 11 for all-time English greats. Because
Would you put Harry Maguire?
No, because I've seen Harry Maguire play.
I can't believe that 11.
That's my point.
I can't believe it. It's just the recency bias off the Raheem Sterling, man. Oh, man.
I think Sterling might be the worst shout of them all.
Yeah,
England
that's bad.
11 of all time.
Who would you put on the left, though? I'm not saying Raheem Sterling should be there. I'm just saying who would you put on the left?
Hargreaves.
Owen Hargreaves.
No, you could put Beckham out on the left, couldn't you?
No, I'd put Sir Bobby Charlton. He played left wing.
Did he?
He played left wing, attacking mid. He played everywhere. And it even says that on his wiki page. I just double checked to make sure I didn't sound myself like a twat. So, you know, I mean, he's a World Cup winner.
Yeah,
former caretaker manager of Wigan Athletic as well. Right. Shevva shoutouts. We'll dive into those. We've got Sam Smith. If I am right about the lap, can I get a feature on one of your episodes? Was that the Chris thing? No.
No, I think that must have been the person who said Delap would be our player of the season.
Oh dear. Well, that wouldn't always be a bad thing, because if we, anyway, always great lads. Love this show. I moved from England to USA. Big up St. Louis City. Oh, nice. Tank. Haven't watched any of Esteval, so I don't know if he's any good or if he could play the 10. With that said, would you rather see Palmer play on the right and have Esteval play the 10, or keep Palmer as the 10? I say this because Palmer is so electric on the wing, and maybe Esteval is more malleable due to the younger age.
Disagree.
I think Esteval's already a Ballon d'Or winner, so he can do whatever he wants. He chooses his position.
I think Esteval, especially when he probably isn't as physical, I think should be out on the right.
I don't think Palmer's a great 10, though.
You wouldn't play Esteval there, though, over him, would you?
No, I wouldn't. No, for the reasons that you just said, mainly.
Yeah, well, there we go. Apex, the food you trying to remember is fufu.
That's it. Fufu.
There you go.
Yeah, the Nigerian food. Thank you.
Hang on. Sending love from Nigeria. Thank you for always easing my stress every week. Quite a fan of Chris. Man's negative, but he loves the fucking Chelsea.
Quite right.
Thank you.
Tom CFC7, can the having a quiet one please do my Ackers for next season because of his stellar predictions? The host can definitely stay away. Okay.
I like that. So I'm having a quiet one and Mikey is host. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't introduce myself again. I completely forgot. Oh, well, give us a shit. And finally, Jamali Smith, we can pay 20 million for Sanchez, but won't pay 25 for Maignan. We don't know yet. That's a teaser. You're about to hit the news now. So let's just, you never know what's about to happen, 24 hours left of the 10-day transfer window before it slams shut. Oh,
not a real window.
It's so exciting. I can't wait. I only found out today it closed tomorrow. I was like, yes. And Maignan.
That's why it's not a real window.
And edit this when you need to. Maignan is a Chelsea player. Maignan is not a Chelsea player. Choose whichever one's appropriate in 40 hours' time. But what we do know at this moment is that Max Allegri tried to convince him to stay. He made it clear he wants to go. And he said Chelsea particular, because apparently Man United have made an interest and they were told to fuck off, as rightly so. And he said to his management that he will run out his contract if he doesn't move this summer. So we are in direct contact today for him to discuss terms of the deal. He does remain keen on joining Chelsea, with him pushing the deal for it to happen. It's just up to the clubs. We have submitted another bid. I saw about 20 million euros, so that should probably get it over the line. 18 to 20 million euros.
Yeah, that should get it done with some like add-ons that are like reasonably achievable. That'll do it. Surely.
I think I can't. I would be shocked on Friday if we're not talking about Maignan as a Chelsea player. By the way, the window doesn't. When I say it shuts, it does, in a sense that clubs just can't register the players. It's still going to be open in a sense. Like, you can agree a deal, or you just can't register them.
Can I say something controversial? Might be a hot take. Might be a Monday hot take. A Del Horno hot take.
Okay.
I am not that bothered if we don't get Maignan.
Wow.
The way people are talking about him is like he's the second coming of Jesus Christ. Flipping it. He conceded 5 the other day in one game, and well, that's just what I'm saying. It's like
they weren't all his fault.
No, they weren't. One of them he should have done better with. Maybe the other 4 your one's a penalty, the other 3 whatever. But all I'm saying is that I don't think this guy is the savior that everyone in the fan base is building him up to be.
He was man of the match yesterday.
It's frustrating to me that people are looking at like this and whether it does or doesn't happen as like indicative of whether our entire strategy should be blown up and start again or all this stuff. Like people are just massively overreacting on this in every single direction. And like, if we get him, great. If we don't get him, fine. We still have Petrovic. He's just as good, in my opinion. So
we made. I think Petrovic is gone. To be honest,
I agree.
Maignan, 6 saves. Whoa.
I don't think Petrovic is as good as Maignan anyway.
No, maybe he's not as good. Maybe I take that back. He's not as good, but he's as good with his feet, and that's what Maresca wants.
So is Maignan. Maignan's good with his feet.
Yeah,
but statistically, the only player better than him was Petrovic.
I think the reason why people are getting semi-excited, and they're always going to overreact, like even positively or negatively, is because he is better than what we've got now. And it is always better when you make a signing that is an upgrade on what you already have.
But it's not like we're not in the market for a goalie, clearly. So, like, you know, if we aren't going to, if we don't get him, and if we do sell Petrovic, we'll get someone else. Sanchez won't be starting at the start of the season.
Yeah, but it's who else are we going to get? I think that's the worry.
Well, worry about that when they actually get linked, you know? All I'm saying is I don't like I don't think this is going to be controversial. I don't think Maignan is a world-class goalkeeper.
What I'm saying is every signing is a great bit of business, and every sale to a rival is we fleece them. That's what it always will be. Always. Yeah. We fleeced Brighton when we bought Sanchez. When we sell him, wow, fleeced. It was a great bit of business bringing Sanchez in from Brighton, and when we sell him, we'll say, "Oh, we fleeced them all." Talking of goalkeepers, the goat of bringing the coffers, Marcus Bettinelli, he's heading to Manchester City to be their third choice goalkeeper, known as the locker room guy. He'll be missed in the dressing room, from what I'm reading. I don't have a take on this because he's literally gonna. I don't even understand the move.
It's a bit weird for us to be buying Maignan to be third choice, though.
I'm so neutral on this. I'm asleep. I have nothing on this. I was like, okay, he's not going to play for them. He ain't going to play for us.
Yeah. Again, people are making too much out of this. You're like, oh, he's good for the dressing room. Yeah, but we also have like actual players who are good for that as well. It's fine. Yeah. Relax. You can tell it's the transfer window, can't you? Honestly,
you can.
Driving me up.
We have signed someone though. We've signed Mamadou Sarr from Ligue 1 side RZ Strasbourg. Not sure who they are. Might have to look them up.
The only club that want to do business with us.
Do you think he's a veteran player, guys? Do you think, without any prior knowledge, if you do know, then you know, but how old do you think he is?
He's 19.
He is. Well, he's 20 in August. Come on. Let's
he's 19 until he's 20.
He's 19 until he's...
All right. We're not doing this.
He played a lot last season for Strasbourg. I don't know too much. I need to look into how good or not he is. I got nothing to say to that.
I know Rosenior absolutely, or Rosenior, however we say it.
For fuck's sake, Rosenior.
Rosenior. I'm going to keep doing it that way. I think Rosenior absolutely loved him. He said like his name should be Mamadou Rosenior because he is my son or something like that. That's how much he liked him. So
fair enough.
It's quite high praise for a decent manager. So
here's the question for you. Just on the topic of Rosenior. Could there be a universe, right, where if Maresca gets sacked, we get Rosenior?
No.
Yeah, in a few years, probably.
I mean,
feel that
there is a universe where that happens, and it's this one. But would that be good? No, definitely not.
That weren't his question. Why? His question was, do we see it happening?
Chris,
why wouldn't it be good?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you could argue he's achieved less than Maresca has.
Well, is Rosenior a Conference League winner? I think not.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, we'll round it off with Borussia Dortmund and Jamie Gittens because they rejected our first offer of 42 million euros. They want 70 million. We're prepping a new offer. I bloody hope we don't offer 70 million. We, of course, will not offer 70 million. I've nothing to add to that. Again, it's another one where I'm like, do I think this one gets done by tomorrow? No. No, I don't see this one getting done.
I think that one gets done in the end. I think it makes too much sense for it to get done for all parties. I think
Is,
Dortmund are a selling club. They want to sell him. We need a winger. So
They've just bought Bellingham again.
Is anyone really excited about that signing though?
I can't say I've really seen him play.
It could stealthily be quite a good signing, but as long as it's not too much money, I'm going to reserve my judgment until I see him play.
Yeah, I think Berth just summed it up there. No one's ever really seen him play.
The thing is, right, I think he'll be like Madueke.
Yeah.
But the comps though, Berth and Chris, the comps say he's amazing.
Yeah, but
but the stats
was amazing on a compilation, Ollie.
I know, don't worry.
And he had two left feet and couldn't kick a ball properly.
I know. We were talking about this the other day, Berth, in the last episode. That were just like the comps are driving us mental because
people have,
it's pissing me off, mate.
People did point out that he did play quite well against Club Brugge and Real Madrid in the Champions League last season. I would like to add that I remember another player who was a winger that we signed who had a really good game against Real Madrid. We don't even know if he's ever going to play for us again.
Mudryk. Yeah.
Yeah. I really hope it was Real Madrid. I'm pretty sure he played.
No, you're right.
well.
It was. He scored.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember the game.
It's the one clip people show over and over again when they're trying to justify his price.
Do you remember this? Yes. But we don't remember Mudryk, and it's a shame because it would be nice to actually see him play. I'm actually just looking
It's ancient
through his
history
stats
in the
now.
football world by this point, isn't it?
Wow. That's a good point, actually. I'm just looking now. 44 games for Shakhtar. When was it? It was definitely... Oh, it was Leipzig. Oh.
He
Wasn't
scored
that
at
Madrid?
Bernabeu as well, didn't he?
It's the
That's where he
same.
scored.
Yeah, I remember. They were wearing the orange kit. That's how I remember.
Yeah.
You say that. It's not here.
He definitely scored for them.
He
mate,
definitely did. He definitely scored past Real Madrid.
Madrid
The only
versus
team
Real
he has
Madrid.
scored past, to be honest.
It's Mandela
Mudryk-
effect, mate.
Unless
Yeah,
he missed. Maybe he missed, but I remember him running the whole pitch.
How the fuck
It would be like Mudryk to do that and then miss, to be fair. That
He is-
sounds more like Mudryk than
What?
scoring.
Yeah,
He has played-
that sounds more likely, doesn't it?
He has played Real Madrid 6 times in his career, technically.
That's
against
a lot for Shakhtar.
For Chelsea.
Okay.
For Chelsea in the quarterfinals, 22-23, and didn't score or assist. And then he played them in the group stage for Shakhtar 4 times, didn't score or assist. What the hell? I'm convinced
Definitely
he scored a
scored for them.
goal.
He 100% did.
He didn't.
I'm telling you,
So-
whatever you're looking at, mate, is wrong.
It's a
'cause he
lie.
did.
It's a lie. Listeners, what's not a lie is what you asked for us. You asked and we listened. The survey results are in, and our ranking episodes were some of your favourites. So thank you. And it's only right that we close out the 24-25 season in style by milking it dry, by breaking down our Chelsea end of season player rankings. And we are in June, and that should be the end of 24-25 season content. But if people are going to claim a double season with the Club World Cup, we're going to milk this cow very dry and sore right now. So I feel that with this top 10, that I might have just put more effort and time into it than previously, because I had to look back how and who I chose for my winners and losers since we last did the rankings in March to see, because I forget. And I think, did anyone earn their ranks? Did anyone get in? Well, we'll see. So,
I'll be honest, I did mine in about 5 minutes.
well,
Yeah,
So-
I know I did.
You know what's funny about this episode, though? I reckon I've been on this podcast about 7 times this year, and I think 4 of them have been rankings.
That's what happens, Berth. Berth, you're the postman. You always deliver. That's what it is.
VAR, Berth, there have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rankings for this season.
That's too many. We
Berth
need to
has
do fewer
been-
than that next season.
Was in 3 of them. He missed the last 2.
Oh, that don't
Yeah,
sound like me.
I think we should probably because there was that one where we did it like 3 weeks apart or whatever in like the winter
Yeah.
window. We need
You
to
mean
not do that
7th of
again.
February to the 21st of March, because that was the international break.
Yeah, exactly. We
Remember
shouldn't be
that
doing
one?
that again.
Right, I have got at number 10 a surprise entry, a re-entry. I've got Robert Sanchez
Number 10. No, you haven't.
because I said
No,
on
you
the
haven't.
awards.
Fuck
I
off,
have.
Mikey. No, you
I
haven't.
I said on the awards episode that he was underrated and disrespected, and he managed to finish again with
Wow.
the highest
this
save
is why
percentage
you're host.
in. Yeah, well, in the Premier League, 76.4%. And he delivered a string of strong performances down the stretch. And without those key saves in those quite tense late season games, we wouldn't have crossed the Champions League line. And
Mikey
he's
likes
not
the
going to
goalie
be
in his
here.
rankings.
But he's not going to
Don't
be
know
here
why.
next season. I don't
That's
think
not
he
an
will be
excuse
here.
to put him in the top 10.
Oh, he won't be in the top 10 anymore. So he might as well just get an honorary. He never is. He's there. So he's number 10. I don't care. My choice. I'm going to go to. Oh, you know what? Mr. Big Bollocks. Go on, Ollie. Who's your 10?
Lavia.
Well, fucking awful choice. Next.
Yeah, it's Lavia. He's really important when he's fit, but he's never fit. But he has started to be fit a bit, so he's number 10. That's pretty much it. He's back in. I dropped him out of my ranking entirely last time, but now he's back because he's fit again.
Okay. Chris, who have you got at 10?
Dropping down 2 places, I've got Pedro Neto.
Oh.
I still don't know what to think of Neto, to be honest.
Nations League winner.
Yeah, so sometimes he does some good things and you think there's a player in there, but when you watch him for a full game, he's just a bit average. Like he's not, I don't know, he's just not great when you actually watch him overall.
You can say that about all our wingers, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
At times during the season, you could have said that about all our players.
That's also true.
But I do think with Neto, I think he makes my top 10 still because I'll be honest with you, I really struggle to find 10 important players.
Yeah,
I think this team is being carried. This team's being carried a lot by 5 or 6 players, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, Berth, who have you got?
At number 10, I haven't got anything to go by because I didn't do the last one, so I'm just kind of guessing here. I'm going to go with Tosin at number 10.
Wow.
Thought he was pretty good last season.
Yeah,
he's not going to be our number 1 star every week, but he's a good player to have, solid, reliable, and he's an important member of the squad, but you can't really put him any higher just for the simple fact that he don't play every game, and he's not, outstanding.
The last time you did these rankings, Berth, you had Fofana. I assume Wesley. Could have been.
He's had about 4 injuries since then.
Oh, fuck. You know what? I've got Chris's number 10 at 9. I've got Pedro Neto, a non-mover. He didn't have a headline-grabbing season, week in, week out. But he made the difference in a key moment. You know, his beauty of a goal against Fulham, it poured petrol on our bonfire. You know, I don't think without his goal in that game, our fire would have burnt so bright and with so much passion in that back end of the season. And without that, we don't. I put him at 9 because he came up in a key moment. That's it.
Yeah.
It says a lot, though, isn't it? They're like that's what it takes to get you in the top 10 is one moment.
Yeah. Sanchez made no mistakes. You're in.
The bar's in hell. It's in hell.
Chris, who have you got?
Number 9, moving up a place. I've got Reece James.
Oh, interesting.
I think he stayed fit, which was probably the most important thing. I think we've seen in the Conference League final how important his leadership is. I just can't put him any higher still because I don't think he can play enough games in a row with us being convinced that he's going to stay fit for him to be overly important. I just don't know whether we can go any higher. Like quality-wise, he should be near the top of this list. But I don't think we can rely on him every week because he can't play more than one game
and that's going to be
every 10
important
days.
next season, isn't it? When we're in the Champions League, going to be
exactly.
Right, I will move to Berth. Who have you got? 9.
9, I've gone for Pedro Neto, Mikey.
Oh.
Same reasons as you. I think he's important. I think he will get better next season as well. Hasn't set the world alight this season, but I think he's a good player. Different dynamic to a lot of our wingers. And just, I think he's important. But again, you can't really put him above 9 because he hasn't shown what he can do this season. But he scored some important goals, so yeah.
Ollie, round it off.
I've gone with Noni in number 9. He's actually dropped down from number 6 in my ranking last time. I think I haven't put another winger on this list, and to be honest, I think no more than one actually deserves to be on here. If I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Noni over Neto because I think he's a bit more effective when he's on it. I also think that people say a lot that like all our wingers are basically the same. I do think Noni's a bit better because they got similar stats in the end. I think in goals of assists. I think him, Sancho, and Neto all ended up with the same in terms of like total goals and assists. But Noni has done it more in the league. Neto and Sancho certainly played more in the Conference League. So gone with Noni. Again, not really any like massive indictment on his ability, I think, because I think he's dropped off a bit in the last sort of second half of the season, certainly. But hopefully he kicks on next season.
Number 8.
Nicolas Jackson.
Down 3 for me, which ironically are the amount of games he's going to be suspended for the red card against Newcastle. He let the team down for me. We all worried as well at the time that losing our only striker could have cost us a top 5 spot. It didn't. He was inconsistent with the finishing. He did contribute though. However, I had to drop him down because he elbowed Botman in the face and it could have cost us. And you're suspended for another game. It's just, I
think that's a bit harsh. Dropping 1. I think dropping 3 is a bit harsh.
He got a suspension of 3 games.
I think he put the season in jeopardy.
He did. Imagine if we hadn't, let's just say that we didn't quite. I know it's all,
if we didn't, he'd not be on this list. Let's put it that way.
I'm sorry, but if we didn't qualify for the Champions League because Nicolas Jackson elbowed someone in the face, then we've got bigger problems than that.
Sure, but you can't tolerate in not doing it, like in not qualifying what you would if you qualified.
That's
No, but if we didn't qualify, I wouldn't have blamed Jackson anyway. Because it's a 38 game season.
No, you're all right. Yeah, and he played in some of those and he didn't score. Right. Chris, who have you got?
Number 8, I've got dropping down 2 places. I've got Tosin.
Okay.
I think his leadership's actually been really important. And I think it's one of them where he was a bit of an underwhelming signing last summer. But with Fofana getting injured again, I don't know whether we qualify for the Champions League if we hadn't have signed Tosin.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, I suppose it depends how much you rate Chalobah, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We would have brought him back, or like we wouldn't have sold him in the first place, or whatever.
But I think Tosin's experience at the back end of the season was really important. Chalobah's a good player, and I think probably quality-wise they're about the same, I would say. But I think Tosin's sort of experience and leadership, especially when you look at, we did improve defensively in the back end of the season in terms of being able to see games out, and I do think he was really important to that. So that's why he's in at number 8.
Ollie, tell me who's 8.
Chris, you and me are on the same wavelength today. I've gone with Tosin. He's a steady Eddie for me. He was 8th last time, and he's 8th this time. Because he just provides that sort of guiding hand, that slightly older head in the dressing room for people to just make sure that for the players to make sure that they sort of, when things are starting to go wrong on the pitch or whatever, in half time, they look to a few players, to the likes of Enzo, Reece James, and Tosin's certainly up there. So yeah, he's a bit like a stabilizer for this team, I think, which can go off the rails very quickly. So it's he's 8th for me.
Berth, give me 8.
I've gone Madueke. I think the wingers have to be, him and Neto have to be close together, just for the simple fact they're very similar. Important to us. They've had good games, they've had shit games. Both had glimpses of quality, but still not hitting the heights you want them to. But on their day, they're going to be important for us. But you can't, due to their inconsistency, you can't put them really above 8. So, yeah, Noni's my number 8.
I've got at 7, Levi Colwill, up 1, Hero versus Forest. He had a strong end, didn't he, to the campaign? He shut some doubters up, and he could be future captain material if he continues this trajectory. I hope he does. Ollie.
Number 7 for me, I've dropping down 3 is Nicolas Jackson. Because I'm not happy with you, Nico.
3 for 3.
Because the thing is with a striker, right? It's not just about the whole elbow in and getting himself sent off like an idiot and being a petulant kid. We mentioned all that at the time. It's no real big deal at this point because we qualified anyway. But when you actually look at what, like when he was actually last scoring goals and doing anything, right? So his last 2 goals were against Djurgården, which isn't a real game. Before that, he scored in the game before that against Everton. And then before that, you have to go back until the 15th of December before he scored a goal against Brentford. He got a couple of assists in the meantime. That's not good enough for a striker. You can't take 6 months, 5-6 months off from scoring a goal. What has he done for me lately? Well, what's he done for me lately is he's put the season in jeopardy and he's been an idiot. So he's lucky that he's still on the list, to be honest.
I agree. Do you know what? I agree with what you're saying about him. But at the same time, when you're looking at importance to this squad, we was utterly shit when he wasn't in the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, except when we actually did need him and he wasn't there and we still qualified without him. So he can't be that important, can he?
Yeah, but we didn't qualify, sort of well, did we? Let's be fair.
It's not about
Well,
how
no,
you
we
do
did.
it. It's the fact that you did it.
Yeah.
Chris, who have you got at 7?
I've got Nani Madueke. I think he had a pretty good end to the season. I think that little run he went on, slightly overrated run that he went on when he got moved to the left.
I still think he was better at the start of the season, though, to be honest with you.
He was better at the start of the season.
I think, generally speaking, I think his trajectory this season has actually gone down overall.
What I like about Madueke, though, is he does always try and make things happen. And I think, again, he's another one where I don't think he's brilliant. But in our squad, he's our best winger. So that's why he's up relatively high on this list. Because he does try and make things happen. And he does look like if we're going to score a goal, he's probably going to be involved somewhere, which is more than I can say for most of our wide players.
Berth, round us off.
This is a tough one, really. I want to go with Reece, just for the simple fact that he's still got a lot of injury problems that he has to get over. If he had a full season, he'd be much higher, obviously. But he's so important for us when he plays, brings that leadership, brings that quality. That assist for the Man U game where he did a pirouette round.
Yeah.
Show. Sensational. Came on in the Europa Conference League final, changed the game. He's really important for us if he stays fit. But there is that
It's a big
cloud
if, isn't it?
hanging over us.
Yeah.
Because when is he next going to get injured? I think that's the problem with him.
It's the problem is with James is it's going to hit us when we least expect it. We're going to be like sort of 2 months into next season thinking, oh no, like we really might have kicked on by now. Just when we think he's turned a corner, boom, hamstring.
Maybe.
It's gonna break my heart.
Oh, I've got 6. Tosin, I've got him up 1. Signing of the season. 1 signing of the season. When you cost nothing and yet you deliver to the level where, if we'd have spent, say, 30 million, you'd still be saying signing of the season. You would. And he deserves it. He deserves the spot. He elevated the back line. And I think he was a huge reason we secured Champions League. He's a very underrated gem, actually. And I
wouldn't say it's the reason why we qualified for Champions League, but he was good. He was good.
One of the reasons.
Yeah, but to be fair, everyone is one of. If you know what I mean. Everyone is a one-off.
Some people ain't.
Chris, on that note, go on. 6.
New entry. Levi Colwill.
Oh wow, you did
really? How he's not been in your list so far, or just not since last time?
Bloody hell.
No. I thought, to be honest with you, until the sort of back end of the season, I thought he was bang average this year. There was more I didn't like about him than I did.
That was delayed. I gave up. I gave up. I didn't think it was working. Go on, Chris. Sorry.
Yeah, I think in that run in at the end of the season, which ultimately got us Champions League, I think his performances was really good. The leadership was really good. Started defending a lot better, less erratic. Scored the goal against Forest. So he's in there, but he's another one with Colwill where I'm still not convinced that he's going to be able to stay there because his form has just been too up and down. He needs to find a level of consistency now, even if it's like Tosin for me, where he's not an 8, but just consistently a 6 would be fine.
Okay. Berth?
Oh, tough one. Again, I'm really struggling with this one. I'm going to go with Nicholas Jackson. For the simple fact is, I think all the people above are probably going to stay this season, and I'm not convinced Jackson is going to stay if we sign another striker. He's important to us, obviously. I like Jackson, think he's underrated, if anything. He's clumsy, he misses a lot of chances, he's rash, but he is important to us. But in a year's time, do I think he's necessarily going to be at the club? I'm not convinced. All the people above him on this list, for me, will be here next season, be an important part. So that's why he's my number 6.
Okay. And finally, Ollie.
He's up 1 from 7th last time. For me, it's Reece James. Same logic as Chris, really, and Mikey. He stayed fit, and so he deserves to go up 1 because he's proved, in certain moments that he's got that leadership, he's got the quality. But for him, I'm the same. I wanted to put him higher, but I just can't because you can't rely on him yet. When we can rely on him, he'll shoot up this list. But until then, he's going to stay around here for me.
Okay. I've got Reece at 5, up from 6th. He came back. He immediately raised the level in key games. And of course, he was the impact sub in the, I was going to say Champions League final, Conference League final. Captain's moments, doing captain's things. I'm going to go back to Ollie. 5.
Number 5 for me. He's up from 10th. So quite a big
number
jump.
5.
Wow.
Sometime today, Mikey.
I know, it's not my fault.
It's Colwill. And I don't know. Some people might think that's a little bit high. But I really like Colwill. I think I'm probably one of his bigger proponents on this list, on this show. I think overall, while Chris is not wrong in a sense of saying he's had a kind of bang average season, I think he's had a stabilizing season. And that's what I really like about him. That, like, even though he's been through and he's made the mistakes and he's hacked me off at times and really irritated me with his attitude at times, he's come out the other side of it looking stronger and better for it. It's stabilized him as a player, it feels like. And now we're starting to see him as a bit more of a leader in the squad, even though he's so young. We're seeing the quality. We can see what he can do. We're always talking about, if we get another centre-back, who we're partnering next to Colwill. Colwill's not a question about whether he's going to be, whether we want someone else to partner someone else instead of Colwill. Colwill's always the main one now in that partnership. So for me, he's done a really good job this season, and he should be able to kick on next season and hopefully prove to everyone why we kept him instead of, selling him to Liverpool or Bayern Munich or whoever else wanted him a couple seasons ago. I
will turn to Chris.
Down 1, I've got Nicholas Jackson. To be honest with you, he's moved. I wouldn't have moved him down, but I've had to move someone else up, so he went down by default. I think after the red card, I think that made people forget actually just how bad we was when he wasn't in the team. Will he be as important next season? Probably not. But based on the season that we've just had, he's another one where I do think his contribution was bigger than some people realise, in terms of, yes, his numbers wasn't always great, but the way he helped the team play. I think you've seen a massive drop off in Palmer's performances when Jackson wasn't in the team. So for that, he's moved down 1. The red card was stupid. So he moves down 1, but I couldn't move him down any more than that.
Okay, Berth.
I've gone for Colwell at 5. Really matured this season. I've never been his biggest fan. Yeah, no, he's proved me wrong, to be fair. I think, he's come up with a few important goals. He's actually performed better to the standard of which I want him to, and he's capable of. I definitely think he can still kick on, but yeah, he's been a lot more mature this season, and he is our best centre-back, there's no doubt about that. And like Ollie said, that there's always talk of people getting someone else in to partner with Colwill. So it's obvious that he's our most important centre-back. So, yeah, he's my number 5.
Scored the goal against Forest as well, which is really
exactly
important.
big goal.
Exactly. The agenda is back. I've got Enzo Fernandez down from 3. He's only down 1 spot. But because he's gone down, no, it's not because of his own fault. Not at all. It's just an agenda I've got. He's been quietly consistent. His numbers back it up. And he was playing with one working eye during the Champions League run-in, for fuck's sake. One eye. He was a pirate in midfield, and he still steered the Chelsea ship to its destination. He was integral. And he genuinely, he drops because he was just overshadowed by other players late on. It's pretty obvious who the top three are going to be from me. That's why Enzo dropped. It's yeah. Ollie, who's in at 4?
Up one, it's also Enzo Fernandez. So different reasons, but same place. He's actually gone up for me. Just slowly been creeping up there at this season. You know, he wasn't in it for me, but he slowly got himself right up there, right into the top echelons of the most important players this season. He's really come on leaps and bounds, especially this season. But he has now surpassed that sort of 6 month span he had when he first signed for us under Potter, where he looked like the only player who could do anything on the pitch. And now he's sort of putting it all together. He's, scoring important goals, really important goals in certain big moments. He's defending, he's attacking, he's doing everything you want a midfielder to do and more now. So I feel like as we've spoken about, and he's got the leadership obviously as well. As we've spoken about, I think he's still got a level or two up to go. But if he hits them, he could be up. He could end up being number one on this list if he keeps going the way he's going.
I've just had a look at who had him in the list. I didn't have him in the first list. Chris did. You did at 10. And so did
10,
Berth
okay.
at 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he ever... No,
but now that would be really harsh, wouldn't it?
Yeah. At one point, only you had... Oh, no. I'll shut up. Anyway, next, Berth.
Yeah, got the hat-trick. Number 4 is Enzo Fernandez for me. All the reasons that Ollie and you said, Mikey, I think he's been quietly really good this season, getting really important goals. He looks fit. He looks energised. His passion's brilliant. He is a real leader for us. And, I'm happy for him to be vice-captain. And he's shown his quality now, and that's what we wanted on a consistent basis. And you could argue, like Ollie said, if he carries on like he has this season and kicks on, he could be up there next season when doing this list. So, yeah, that number 4 is a good place for him. And I think if you dropped him any lower, I think that would be harsh.
Chris.
Clean sweep. Number 4, Enzo Fernandez. I'll be honest, the only reason why he isn't number 3 for me is because the person I've got at 3rd was just a little bit more consistent over the whole season, I thought. But I don't think you could argue against Enzo being in the top 3 if somebody did put him there.
Agreed.
I think this season his development has been probably bigger than anyone else's.
Most improved, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. His influence on games, I think he's found a position that sort of masks his weaknesses and really shows his strengths. I think Maresca's got him spot on this year in terms of how he's played him. And I think that's where we've seen the best of him. And if he continues like this, yeah, I do think by this time next year, we could be talking about him towards the top 1 or 2.
I think what the best thing that ever happened to Enzo Fernandez, this could be a hot take, best thing that ever happened to him was Conor Gallagher going, because he's done everything that Conor Gallagher's done, pretty much.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Just doesn't have the same energy, but that's all right.
No, but you could argue that he has more quality on the ball.
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of people will value that
love
more.
hearing that. They'll love hearing that.
I love Conor Gallagher. I love Conor Gallagher. I wanted to keep him, but
he's not Messi, is he?
He's not Messi. Number 3, down from 2, but not for his own fault. It's Marc Cucurella. Another season, he improved another level. One of the best performers during the Champions League run-in again. He scored the winner versus United. Incredible season. Ollie.
For me, it's Cole Palmer, number 3. I had him at number 3 last time. He's number 3 this time. There's not really too much to say. I think he's comfortably our 3rd best player at the moment. When he's on his day, he's our best player, and it's not even close. But I don't think we've seen the best of him this season. Not by a long chalk. I think the start of the season, I think that's what we saw from him, which was really great. And I think maybe at this point, maybe it's fatigue setting in. He's played a lot of football. He's going to be playing the Club World Cup. Obviously he's had England, duty just now, and he's got the Club World Cup. And then it all launching straight into the season again. I think it's really, really important that somebody comes in to be able to take the burden off him a little bit in terms of especially in the league, because people are always turning to him, looking to see what can happen and what he can do to make a difference. And you could see in, like, for example, the Conference League final, he really did make that difference. But we haven't seen that enough from him this season, especially in the back end where he really struggled at times. Sort of just disappeared from some games. So I think he needs energy. I think he needs a break and a rest. So I think. Arguably, one of the most important signings we can make this summer is someone who can take that physical burden off Palmer to let him play at his best when he can.
Okay, Chris.
I've got Mark Cucurella. I did toy with putting him in second as well, to be honest, just because I think aside from Caicedo, he's our most consistent player.
Yes.
Very rarely drops an absolute stinker. I don't think you could. Again, he was our top scorer this calendar year.
That's such a wild stat that sounds bollocks, but it's true.
Yeah, he's another one though where we don't get Champions League football without Cucurella. That's simple, because we don't have another option for one, and we certainly don't have one anywhere near as good as him. Scored crucial goals as well.
Yeah, big
at
moments.
Different points during the season. Always plays with energy. Another leader. I think he's probably our biggest winner that we've got in terms of, I think he has a winning attitude more than anyone else in the team. And I think that's been crucial to us. And he's another one where another season like this, another one who could be fighting for top spot in the rankings next year.
And it helps. I mean, you say about winner. Look at Spain. He shows it when he's. I mean, I know you could say Nations League final, but it's not really a competition. So he's just such a passionate player, and that's what we love to see. Berth, who is number 3?
Yeah, Cucurella as well. Definite argument to say he could have been second, but I think other than Caicedo, definitely our most consistent player. Passionate, love his passion for the game. He just loves Chelsea, and the goals he scored this season, I mean, it's quite ridiculous, really. And if it was another left back that was playing for Liverpool or Man City, people would be saying he's the best player in the league. But because it's Cucurella and he's got long hair and he's got this sort of tag where people just don't seem to like him, he's not considered one of the best left backs in the league, but he should be because he is. Really important for us. Never puts a foot wrong. There's not much else you can say really about him. Just fantastic. I think his worst game this season was probably the Spurs game, and that's only because he had rubbish.
Yeah, when he kept falling over.
He kept slipping over. Other than that, I couldn't tell you a bad game that he's had. And when you think about when he first joined to now, what a difference! What a difference!
I'm going to take a risk here and say, Ollie, why is he your number 2?
He is my number 2. Well guessed. He's number 2 for me because he's been so consistent, and Chris is right because we don't get Champions League without him. And that's not just hyperbole either, not just because of how good he is and we don't have another option. He won us the game against Leicester with his goal, and he won us the game against Man United with his goal. Without both those games, we draw both those games. We don't get Champions League. It's all different in the running. It's a potential 6-point swing there. So he's turned up in big moments when we've needed anyone to turn up. And in both cases, it's a bit like Enzo Fernandez in a lot of ways. He's the one who's kind of answered the call. And I was someone on this show who really didn't like Cucurella for a long time. And it took a long time and a lot of performances for me to come round on him. But he has, especially this season, come on leaps and bounds. He is so important to the way we play. He's got that shithousery about him that we all love. He's a leader. He's got the energy. Like I've said time and time again, he sets the tone for the team in terms of, physically, mentally, in terms of the energy that you have to press with, in terms of your dogged determinism. You just have to applaud him for what he's been able to do and how he's managed to turn it around in a Chelsea shirt, because you can't imagine any of us talking like this even a year ago when he was starting to look better at the back end of last season. You wouldn't be talking about him as one of our best players, but he is, and there's no doubt about that now.
Yeah. Number 2, up 2 spots from 4th. Man of the match in the Conference League final. 2 assists, clutch when it matters most. Key against Liverpool. It's Cole Palmer. He finished strong. He was decisive. And this was after playing his, the David Copperfield for a period since March. But he came close. He came so close to the summit for me, but the mountain peak was just out of his grasp this time. And because of the consistency of the season, I did take that into account. And I thought, I can't put you atop of the mountain. I can't do it. But that is why he's number 2. I'm going Chris.
I have Cole Palmer at number 2. I think the Conference League final showed what he can still do. I have a concern with Palmer, though, that I think next season it goes one of two ways with Palmer. Either he gets back to number 1 spot and it's not even close, and we're all just talking about the Cole Palmer from 2 years ago again. Or I think he falls out the top 3.
Ooh.
Because he stayed at number 2 for me because of his quality, and I don't think we have another player in the team who is as good as him quality wise. But his consistency in the second half of the season, I think, has been awful. I'm not really talking about goals and assists either. I think all attacking players can go on droughts. Assists really isn't actually his fault. Like, he can keep putting them on a plate for people. If they keep missing, then you're not going to get assists. So,
and to be fair, that was the case, and it would have clouded it. So it would have like covered up a lot of his poorer performances if he had managed to pull off a few of those assists.
Yeah. And then, like I said, goals, players go on droughts. It's always happened, and it always will. It was his influence on games. I think last season and the first half of this season, Cole Palmer was the reason why you watched Chelsea play. If you wasn't a Chelsea fan, Cole Palmer was the reason why you watched us play, because he was one of the few players in the Premier League who you actually enjoy watching play. Second half of the season, I don't think anyone enjoyed watching him play. I think he became very robotic, quite boring, safe. He lost all that sort of childhood-like freedom that he had, where it just looked like a lad having a kick about with his mates. I think he lost that in the second half of the season. His influence on games was non-existent at times, and I don't think one good game against Liverpool and then 10 good minutes in the Conference League final should cloud over that. I think
I agree with that.
If he wants to be the player that he can be, he needs to take stock of himself and say, actually, the second half of the season, I wasn't good enough, nowhere near good enough. And he needs to come back strong. I wouldn't play him in the Club World Cup. I wouldn't play him. I think he needs the rest. I think he's been overplayed now for 2 years at such a young age in terms of never being a regular starter. He's gone from that to playing 40, 50 games a season straight away.
It goes up another level next season as well. When you've got the Champions League, he's probably going to be playing twice, maybe 3 times a week. And it's not going to work for him. He'll burn himself out.
But I think from a club point of view as well, we need Cole Palmer from last season back. If we want to achieve anything, we need that Cole Palmer back. So I would rather sacrifice the Club World Cup, which realistically we're probably not going to win anyway, to get that Palmer back, than risk him in the Club World Cup. And then we're starting the season and everyone's going, well, Palmer still doesn't look very good. Yeah. Or he picks up an injury where he's going to be out for 2 months.
So let me ask you a question, Chris, and I probably know the answer, but it can go to the others as well. If we win a title under this new team, does it happen without the Cole Palmer from last season? That Cole Palmer?
No.
It doesn't, does it?
Not a chance.
So that's why it's so important, because he's the difference between us being a good top 4 team and a title challenging team.
Well, put it this way, I think if in the second half of this season we had the Cole Palmer from the first half of this season, I think we get top 4 at a canter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe even like second or third.
Yeah. I think we could have quite easily caught Arsenal.
Berth, who have you got?
Yeah, I've gone Cole Palmer. Look, he hasn't as good of a season as the first season, but still scored 15 Premier League goals. And looking back, like past attackers for Chelsea, you take that all day, wouldn't you? 15 Premier League goals. Obviously, he looks tired. He looked tired last half of the season, but the quality's still there. I still think Maresca's almost coached him too much. I think you need to let him be free and be a maverick. It's just one of them where, on his day, he's our best player by a mile. And like Ali said, I think it's not close. But hopefully, if it's a challenge for the title, he has to be top performance. And it's no coincidence that when we was near the top at the start of the season, or at Christmas, Cole Palmer had about 10, 11 goals already and a shitload of assists.
Yeah.
So that's how good he is, and that is how good he can be. And that's what we need from him next season. He's had a great season, still our best player on his day. So yeah, he's number 2 for me. Just mainly due to his inconsistency.
Okay. Number 1, we all have him, and I really should do the number 1. Like, bloody lost the soundboard.
Number 1.
Oh wow! I didn't even press it that time.
Wow.
No, it's a beauty. It's a beauty. It's a beauty. Oh,
Number 1.
still elite.
I hate it so much.
Started all 38 Premier League games. Moises Caicedo, the key in the run-in. My player of the season. Palmer's final surge was impressive, but I can't have him dethrone Caicedo, especially when I compare the entire seasons both players had. I mean, and he even scored a goal. Oh, I love it when he scores a goal. He scored one.
But Mikey Paul scores says he doesn't do anything. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
well,
Who do we believe? Our eyes all Paul Scholes.
I don't know. Scholes, he's up there.
yeah, Scholes has only got eyes for one thing, and it's well, let's not go
My
there.
favourite, my favourite was when I read Paul Scholes' opinion on Maignan versus Caicedo. Now we just heard Caicedo's. He said Maignan, he's the nearest thing I've seen to Zidane. I was like, whoa, fucking hell, man! You can't drop that. You can never drop.
Yet he doesn't.
One of the
start for Man
greatest
United.
players. No, you can't say a greatest of all time player is the closest. No, behave.
Honestly, some of the best players of all time are thick as 2 short planks, aren't they?
Honestly,
Yeah.
unless Mainu headbutts someone, then I'll start comparing him to Zidane. You're not doing it yet. Not having it. Why have you all got Caicedo at 1?
well, I think he's the most complete midfielder in the league.
Yep.
He's just phenomenal. Covers every blade of grass. Has that bit of quality on the ball. And he's still, people forget how young he is. He's still, 22? He's ridiculous. He's literally so good. And I can't really... He's so good at everything. I mean, he could score a few more goals, maybe, but he don't need to. He's that good, he doesn't need to. And when he does score, they're bangers as well. But he's just so important for this team. And I think every trophy-winning team and every successful team has to have a destroyer in their midfield. And we've got one of the best has been in the past couple of years at doing that. So he's number 1. I think he's been our most consistent player this year. Just brilliant.
Cool. Chris?
I think with Caicedo, if we'd signed him from Brighton, if Liverpool was never interested in Caicedo, if he hadn't turned Liverpool down to come to us, and we'd signed him for 40 million, I think he would have been in everyone's conversation for Player of the Year.
Yep.
The reason why he isn't is because of his price tag.
Yeah.
Which he can't
And-
even control anyway.
Which he can't control, and it's a stick that people want to continue to beat Chelsea with. So they will never admit how good he is because they want to constantly tell us that we overpaid for him. When in reality, yes, we did overpay for him, but actually he's paying that money back and more. So if he's going to stay, even if he only stays another 3 years, if it's 3 years at the same level, he would have repaid that money back for me because he would be absolutely crucial to any success that we've had.
Think about how much money you actually get from being in the Champions League, right? He's been a massive part of our season in getting that. And how much is that worth? Fair chunk. So
exactly.
he really is, going away to pay it back. Obviously, he's number 1 for me as well. I want to cast you back to it was September 1st, right? 2024. Crystal Palace 1-1, right? The away game, Selhurst Park, and So I know stats on everything, but let me give you some stats here, right? So Caicedo got a 7.7 rating, just looking at it here on FOTMob in that match, right? So I'm now going to just scroll up. He got 7.7. His score then for every game after that didn't drop below 7 until when we played Fulham on the 26th of December, and we lost that game, right? Then he's had a handful of games basically from there until late February where he wasn't as good. And then from March to now, it didn't drop below 7 again.
Yeah.
For a whole season. And he played 38 games in the Premier League this season.
It's who he is, mate.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy consistent. He's the best midfielder in the league. I don't care what anyone says. Shove your rice in your chili and cook it. He's my favourite player in the squad at the moment by a mile.
Yeah. Can I just say, when you said about Rice, I saw the best quote ever online when someone called him the Basmati Busquets. And
yeah. Except Busquets was good.
I mean, Rice is good, mate. Come on.
No, he is good, but you got to do it for the rivalry, haven't you? The only thing I will say about Caicedo, and that I want to see more from him next season, and it really is a nitpick. I want to see more goals and assists this season. Goals. One goal, 2 assists. He's done absolutely everything else. If next season he can make it literally like 5 goals, 5 assists, I would be absolutely over the moon with him, and he would be the best midfielder in the league by a mile. Okay. So I just wanted that little bit more from him in terms of the goal scoring output.
That's all right. That's our player rankings done. Close the book. It's over. I'm sure we'll touch on those before when the next international break comes along. We'll go Christmas questions. But first, I've just got a little update. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. I'll miss 6. I'll be at work. Kenya play Chad again. I can't wait. I can't wait for the sequel. 0-0. Yeah. And another thing, I've missed this. It just popped up on my phone that Nottingham Forest have written to UEFA with their concerns about Crystal Palace participating in the Europa League when they could be in breach of multi-club ownership rules.
Oh, honestly.
Fuck off. Really?
That's
just
funny
let them play.
Nottingham Forest have like multiple clubs in Europe.
Oh, no. Well, I just find it, I'm sorry, but the whole let Palace play in it, it's just so pathetic.
Grow up.
Of all clubs as well. Forest.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
We all know your goalkeeper that you made a huge what was it? Was it him from Forest or was it the other way?
It was him from Forest, was it, to Newcastle?
I'm pretty sure it was for a ridiculous fee and he didn't play. Let me just check. Yeah, it was him. And no way. Come on, behave. Right, anyway, Quaresma's questions. Let's have a look. I've got 2 good questions here. I've got NJ Brandt with, would you rather witness a last-minute winning goal or a winning penalty save by your keeper?
Last-minute goal. It's got to be a last-minute goal.
By the keeper, I'm guessing. I'd love that.
Yeah. Do you know what? I really like the penalty because you think it's over until it's not.
Yeah.
You think you've absolutely thrown it away, you've bottled it, you've got no chance left, and then it's saved. Imagine being in the stadium for that. How much you'd celebrate. I know, and they're just that little bit rarer than goals, aren't they? Penalty saves.
Okay. And on Discord, this caused a little conversation here between Super TNT and Busha. So Super TNT asked, do you think any other European team, that's the key word there, European team, are going to put out this full starting 11 in the Club World Cup?
I don't think so.
Busha made a good point, saying that every club is going to take this seriously because the prize money is enormous.
The prize money is enormous. And there's the pride as well. You get the crest on your badge on your shirt for the next 4 years. That's something.
It's one of them because it's like, when you get excited. I mean, we're doing a preview on Friday, so we've got to pretend we're happy and excited. I think when it gets going,
Friday.
What?
Isn't our game on Friday?
No, Sunday is the first game.
Sunday.
Inter Miami versus Al Ahly.
Right.
I don't know. I think when the tournament starts getting going, that's when you'll find out if people are excited or not. I can't say anything other than that. I think they'll put the teams out. I think it'll be 80% strength.
I think they will put the teams out, but I don't think the players will be motivated to care.
Yeah. They'll be knackered. Players will be knackered.
I think that'll be the difference.
I think I reckon it will be a really poor showing of football generally. But do you know what I think? I think the clubs that need the money the most will put out the strongest teams.
Yeah. Well, there we go. We will go and wrap up today's show with the end of show game. And it keeps working. You keep loving it. Football 20 questions. So I have a player. And they're in front of me. Try and guess who he is.
Oh, don't let Ollie go first. Actually, you know what? Ollie, go first. Go on.
Okay.
Does he have 7 toes?
What size shoe does he wear?
I'll just call him. Hang up.
Okay. Is he famous for his time in the Premier League?
No.
Now, Ollie, what I will say about that question, it's a good question. I don't think you worded it the best, though.
Is he famous?
Because
Honestly.
that doesn't mean that he hasn't played in the Premier League.
Everyone's a critic, aren't they? I know, but I was trying to get to think of like the where, because we're not going to necessarily think of it if they played like 5 games for like some club somewhere in the Premier League. We're going to think of them as like a main player. So you want to think of the main leagues that these players are in.
But how do we know if he's played in the Premier League or not? Mikey just said he weren't famous in the Premier League. That doesn't mean he hasn't played, right?
But what it tells you is that's not really what he's known for. So do you see?
If only we had another 19 questions.
Yeah, you might get it. Come on.
Really good question, to be fair, Ollie.
Yeah, shut up, Worth.
I'll go next.
You're bold.
I'll go next. Has he played in the Premier League?
He hasn't, no.
Brilliant. But there we go, Ollie.
Should have just inferred it from what I asked.
Yeah, I'm with it. Is he still active?
No.
Well, as in, does he go for a run every morning?
Oh, shit.
I don't know. I feel
Is he
like
still active on social media?
Ollie's under pressure.
I know,
You know,
'cause I feel-
Bert's watching him like a hawk.
Burb's listening. Yeah, like a hawk, honestly. I don't know. Did he play in Spain?
No. No.
Did he play in Germany?
No, just real quick, Burf. Was that okay?
It was better than his birth one, mate.
Yes, he did.
He played in Germany, right?
Yeah, he posted on Instagram 6 days ago, so he's active.
Did he retire less than 5 years ago?
He did indeed.
Oh.
Did he play for Bayern Munich?
He did.
What
a shout.
Okay. Is he widely considered underrated?
Oh.
To be fair, that was kind of a personal question for Mikey, isn't it? Like, does Mikey underrate him?
Like, that's what I said widely, Ollie.
I know, but he doesn't know the opinions of everyone, does he, Burf?
You're going to have to change that question. I don't know how to answer that.
See?
That's so, like, up to interpretation. Like, some would say, yeah, he's rated very well, or he's underrated, or he's overrated.
Okay.
So yeah.
Right. Okay. We haven't established where he plays, like, actual position, have we?
No.
Was he a forward?
He was.
Maybe we need to work out where he was from.
I've got.
Has he won?
I actually think I might know who it is.
I've got a feeling I might know who it is too. But has he won a major international tournament?
Oh. For country or club?
For country.
For country. Then that is a definite no. Had to check the wiki page.
Definite no.
Ooh, okay.
Definite no. So he's not German.
No, I had to check the wiki page then because I was like, no, he didn't.
Oh, I see. I was going. Oh,
yeah. So he's not German, but judging by that answer, he's not from a major European nation. Who you would expect to win a tournament?
Not Argentinian either.
Yeah.
In theory.
Or Brazilian.
well, he could be Brazilian. When did
Retired
that-
Bayern
God.
Munich forward. That's what we're looking for.
So is it my question or is it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it is your question.
Oh, Jesus. Not again. Every 3, it's like a cycle. I should expect it by now. Fuck it. Is he right-footed?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Brilliant. This will narrow it down.
It might. If he's left-footed, it will.
Yeah, she's right-footed. She's going to say both again.
As if you don't know, but
Oh, come on, transfer mark. Don't let me down.
Both.
Always takes the piss to load this website. He played right-footed. Thank fuck.
Okay. Oh. Have we established what nationality he is or not?
no, not yet.
Okay, I don't think he won the World Cup with this team. Or he won in the squad. Is he French?
Yes.
I know he is.
Oh, go on, go for it then, Beth.
Is it Frank Ribery?
It's Frank Ribery, yes.
Nice.
Thanks,
Oh.
Ollie, for giving me that assist.
You're welcome, mate.
Lovely shout. And I had to pick him
I think
this
he was.
week.
I think Ribery was fairly rated. I don't think he was underrated.
See, I thought it was Thomas Muller. That's why I said it.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah,
But he
thought-
isn't retired, is he?
Oh, I thought he'd retired.
No,
he's
not
retired,
yet.
I thought he
Not
retired.
yet. No.
Ah,
I was just
okay.
looking. I mean, he was so good. He should have. I have championed that Ballon d'Or that he got third in. He should have fucking won it. Ronaldo won. I think. What did Ronaldo win that year? I don't think he won anything. Messi won La Liga, and Ribery just completed the treble. I know it's not all about trophies, but usually the Ballon d'Or is based on bloody trophies.
We've
so-
got that in about 8 questions. Mikey, can we have a harder one next time?
Yeah. Okay.
Mikey, can we not have Ollie play next time?
Yeah. Next
You won't
Monday.
You
No,
won't be playing, mate, because you're not here.
it'll be a Tuesday because of the game on the Monday. Listeners, we're at the end of another episode. Thank you for tuning in, and of course, we're proud to remind you about our partnership with Head in the Game, mental health charity using football to support wellbeing in the community. Check them out at headinthegame.co.uk. Treat yourself well, because we'll be back on Friday with our Club World Cup review. I can't wait. Oh,
Yay.
it's only 4 days away till we get to preview it, and it kicks off on Sunday with Inter
least the
Miami
trophy's
versus
cool.
Al Ahly. Yes.
At least the trophy is cool, though.
Yeah, sure. Have we seen what the key does?
Yeah,
if
sure.
It unlocks it.
I don't know.
Have-
I have seen the kit. Yeah, it is interesting. Pointless as well.
Yeah, what are you keeping in the trophy?
I'd love to know how this is going to work, by the way, because I don't know where this rule is, but LAFC are playing this Saturday at 3:30 a.m. GMT against Toronto.
Brilliant. They'll be
And then
knackered.
they've got to go, and they've literally then got to go to because obviously no one knew they would be in the Club World Cup, did they? Because of Club Leon. Fucking hell. I feel sorry for that team. They're going to be knackered, man. Oh, well. Advantage Chelsea. Treat yourself well. Till then, that'll be us signing off.
You've been listening to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At the Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.